Good morning.
Morning.
What's
Art
up,
Beauty
y'all?
Equilibrium Podcast Family. Episode 260.
Can you believe that?
Nah, I cannot. We've been doing this for a long time. Coming to you live from Los Angeles. Let's get into it.
We got the sports update. A few things. Lakers. I still think we got a chance for Lakers in 5. We lost. Shout out to all the NBA teams. Clippers, I think they tied their series up last night.
Is that right?
Yeah, I believe so.
All
Correct
right.
me if I'm wrong. I think they tied it up. Grizzlies play tonight. They got smacked by OKC. They play again, see if they could tie that series up.
Man, I like OKC, man.
Yeah, the OKC is cool. OKC is cool, but I think we still got action. I'm glad the way that everything is looking right now. The game wasn't looking too good. We got to make some definite coaching changes because we just couldn't get no second chance baskets. Like once we missed, it was over. Like the ball was going back the other way. So yeah, that part sucks. But yeah, the NBA is I think they bringing that playoff intensity back, low key. It's some really good matchups.
I believe so.
Some really, really good matchups. It's like, okay, that you could tell like this is a better year, not just because the Lakers is involved, but you got so many rivals that are playing, so many possibilities. I mean, even on both divisions too. So
And the Clippers fans should be proud. Silence.
really,
Silence.
really,
I'm just saying.
It'd be,
I do
it'd be,
have to throw that out there and acknowledge how good.
they should be proud.
Yeah.
Okay,
She said the Clippers.
the Clippers should be proud.
Shima, choose a side.
See?
I need like a something I could just, speak a cup I could speak into or something. I'm gonna leave them alone. Also, a lot of controversy, man, behind LeBron, man, and this Mattel deal he got with Barbie. LeBron has a Barbie doll, and the LeBron haters are going crazy.
Look, Michael Jackson had a doll. MC Hammer had a doll. Right? Like, Michael Jordan had a doll.
It's because it's a Barbie doll.
Okay.
I think that's what everybody's going crazy for. I don't see nothing wrong with it.
I mean, look, do your part. Just don't play with it.
Yo,
Like, just don't
that's
play
crazy.
with it. Leave it alone. If
Don't.
it ain't for you, it ain't for you. But I guarantee it's going to be a collector's item,
Don't play with it. Don't. Play
Clint
with
said he ain't MJ. You're right. He's not MJ.
That's the dog.
But for right now, in this environment, he's the MJ right now.
I think
So-
that just to have representation is important. You know what I mean? I feel like
That part.
that's something that they just started. I mean, look at the fit. Look at the fit. Look at everything that he represents with his career, his family. So I think that that's like a good representative to, make a doll and have something that's collectible. First of all, even if you don't open it, and then for people to have in their
Hey, that's a great
in their
point.
memory bank as something that they can look into, And I just want to say that pretend play is a healthy, very, very healthy part of human development. So,
So D1 just said, why couldn't he be an action figure?
Right.
Now, I agree. Why couldn't we get an action figure out of LeBron? Like he could have had,
do you have to say that it's an action
That,
figure
man,
for it to be an action figure? Because he is an active figure. He is a basketball player by trade.
But I understand.
Hey, it's like we having a mind meld right now. It's like everything
But I
I'm about to
understand
say, y'all
because
saying.
it's the idea of the Barbie, right?
There you-
And if it was an action figure, it'll be a little less. It'll be an action figure, instead of him having on the varsity
the
jacket.
drip.
Yeah, he could have his. He could be muscular. He can have his basketball. He could look.
He got a bag. He
Hey.
might. Ain't no telling what's in that bag.
LeBron is showing
Dude,
that drip because I don't know if
really?
y'all noticed the before game
Is
drip
it-
is
is it
off
a
the
duffel?
chain. The
That
before
was
game drip,
That was a merch, bro.
he's showing
He got
up,
some
showing up and
sunglasses.
showing out.
That's a merch. What's gonna fit in that thing?
I don't know.
Or a satchel, whatever you want to call it. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like, okay, so here we get into something. It seems like they are demasculating his manhood by being a Barbie. Wow. See, I think
And it said
I
it
think-
seems like, and it's
Yeah.
so
it seems like that's an interesting point, D1.
yeah.
That's an interesting point. I think, I don't know. It's G.I. Joe maybe? Like, Legos? What do people want?
but also it's kind of.
Like, how much of this is because LeBron?
I think it's trying to just tap into everybody because the girls can get the LeBron, the guys can get the Barbie.
I believe Barbie is at this point it is a brand, that
Right. It's a major brand.
heavily active in inclusion, and a lot of their dolls represent everyone, everybody, and everything. So I think that this is a good move for Barbie and a good move for LeBron James because this is something that's going to be in homes, given as gifts, as presents. It's like you get to see the full realm of him, not just as somebody who plays basketball.
Hold on, I don't mind the doll. Dr. KG Psychology said, I don't mind the doll. My friend's son wants one because he's tired of playing Barbie with his sister as a girl or beach white boy. I like the movie. Okay, so I see, so if there's kids out there that's, has no choice to play Barbie with their sister, at least they got somebody that looks like them. So
That's facts.
That
was from Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay. Who
the
said
Barbie
that?
movie was a hit. There will be a sequel, and LeBron.
LeBron might be in
being
the
a
Barbie
part,
movies. Yeah.
It will be great. Okay, thank you, Doctor.
And,
Dr. KG Psychology.
And Mimi says nothing wrong with playing with a doll. He said if you're a girl dad, you're gonna be playing with dolls with your daughter. Now that's a fact.
Different, but that's different.
No, I'm just to her point. She said there's nothing wrong. Like if you're a girl dad, you're gonna be playing with dolls with your daughters.
I mean, and that's different. And like I said, if you got a sister, you playing with her. Okay, no problem. I used to play with my cousin, Nikki, and her damn Barbie dolls, whatever.
Would have been nice to have a LeBron doll.
Well, I would have. I mixed it up with the, with the GI Joes and the cops.
Yeah.
Because the cops was a little bigger, than the GI Joes.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like the same size as the Barbie. So I was able to intertwine,
There you go.
my action figures with her Barbie.
There you go.
So I mean, I understand,
There you go.
but if it's gonna lighten the blow and help out as far as kids playing together, all right, whatever, But once again, I have no problem with it. It's so what,
Yeah, got you. All
I
right.
can understand if they was playing with a baby doll. No, if it was a LeBron baby doll, no, that's out.
Also in the sports update, we got the the new stake owner in the Dallas Mavericks. They was grilling him, man, on the exit little interview. They flat up asked him, "Why shouldn't you be fired?"
Oh, okay.
The owner?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he made they're talking about Luka and everything and
Hey, I thought it was a woman all this time. They said it was a woman, but hey,
Nah,
that's good to know.
he was like and basically he was defending himself. He said, "Y'all didn't get a chance to see my product," and everybody was like, we know why. Ha! What up, Rick? Rick in the comments. Yeah.
I do believe that he was well spoken when he was talking, because I feel like, just like we've all heard the statement, plant seeds. You know what I mean? Sometimes you don't get to see the blooming of those seeds of what you planted. So I feel like this is something that everybody has to take like gracefully. You're not going to always see the product of what you put in on something. So I just feel like, that was his opportunity to share. But I mean, honestly, some of those questions were kind of like, did you feel like they were like placing blame on his decision or him?
Yeah, definitely blame. Yes, I
So,
totally.
so that's the part I don't really.
And my bad.
agree
Just to
with.
correct, somebody corrected me. It's the general manager, not the
Oh, okay.
not the owner. I apologize.
right.
General manager, and yeah, they're definitely placing blame because they're like, listen, you might not have known AD gets hurt or that Kyrie is injury prone, but the world did. That's kind of the energy they was having. Like the world knew.
Man,
So you didn't know. Why you don't
didn't
know?
you know?
Yeah.
That's the question.
You talking about we traded Luka for one of the best two-way players in the NBA. We're talking about AD, and shout out to AD. He is a phenomenal two-way player, but
Right.
it just doesn't make sense in the history books. That's one of those deals where I'm glad we got the pieces we got, but it just does not make full sense.
mean,
So he's going to
honestly-
take criticism
All right, we
for
got to
that.
move on,
He's
y'all.
gonna,
This-
he's gonna take criticism, but it's like look at the full spectrum of things. Like he's not an older player,
Right.
He still has like a lot of years.
All right, let's. I'm gonna skip a couple of these topics due to time. We got to talk about Kelly Steele. She's a pastor's wife who said that she received grace from God that allowed her to iron her husband's clothes for his side chick. She said God gave her the grace needed to accept her husband, love her husband unconditionally, even though she knew he was cheating on her, even though he was talking to her disrespectfully. She said God helped her, and she would even iron his clothes and get him ready, get him fresh
I don't have nothing to say
to
about
go
this one.
adulterate.
I wish we would have talked about the $20 million jewelry store.
Okay, let's go back. Let's go back to that.
Yeah, I mean, no offense to Kelly, but this is, I mean,
Go ahead.
I don't know. I guess this is more controversial than the 20 million. So let's talk about it. Yeah, that's just. I mean, if that's what she want to do, hey, if she feels gonna keep the house happy, screw it.
Yeah, a lot of people were talking about this because they just feel like
Can't hear you.
a lot of people were talking about this because they just feel like, from at least the comments I saw, they were like, you're gonna stop using God, the Lord's name to on this BS.
Thank you.
Like, this ain't got nothing to do with him. Like, leave him out of this.
Let's
I mean, it's
normalize-
probably God is probably just helping her from not going insane about it. I don't know. Like whatever they got going on.
Yeah.
This is wild, but hey,
Yeah, and I just feel like, hey, to each their own,
Exactly.
for sure. But
You know?
I do feel like in some cases, like, attaching those two things, it could make somebody else like you in a powerful position, and it can make somebody else feel like, oh, maybe I need to go in here and iron these clothes then, put that crease in there.
I mean, I want to say let's normalize speaking about what's abusive, even
That's
if
all
it
I'm
has
saying.
religious strings attached.
Yeah, the abuse that you just said, G, that he's doing, like if it's abuse in there, no, that's not cool. But if this girl want to accept that he got side chicks and want to iron his underwear,
And that wasn't and the side chick is just one of the issues that they had. I mean, she really endured verbal abuse,
yeah, that's not cool.
mental abuse, everything. I mean, from just being accosted on a daily basis, she said, by him. I just really feel like this is something that we have to normalize saying, you know what, this ain't right, even if it's attached to Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't right. You know what I
Mimi
mean?
said God didn't tell you to get mistreated.
Right.
Yeah. This is
And
propaganda.
then on top of that, I just feel like it's more and more, and this is for men and women, because that's going to lead us into our next one of our other topics or whatever. But in regards to people being in a really, really just hardship of a relationship with other people, just normalize healing, normalize running TF away from that individual. You know what I mean? You don't have to.
True.
You don't have to stay through that. And that was like something that was like her decision or whatever. She did it for her family. She did it for herself. She did it to save her marriage. But honestly, it can be taken so wrong that you can also, like you guys said, encourage other people to put up with that mess. And that's all it is to me, is mess. You know what I mean?
Got you. Real quick, Shannon Sharpe.
Allegedly,
legal team released. So he's one of the latest men to be hit with a assault
they keep coming
charge
for the black
in a
folks.
$50 million civil rape lawsuit. His legal team released the messages. So they have messages spanning over a while where they're both talking extremely explicit. They are. She asked him to be tied up, have certain things done to her, and he's saying, "Hey, listen, we was two adults. It was a consensual relationship. It didn't go left until she asked him for some money." So this is the messages that they're releasing, and he says he denies any wrongdoing. And the messages that he released, he said corroborate his side. So he said he's gonna fight it. He's gonna fight it in the court. Now, one thing that I found interesting was they said Tony Busby is representing the accuser, and that's the same lawyer in the Puff Daddy and Jay-Z allegations, and the one that, remember, they accused Jay-Z, and later the charges, I think, were dropped or thrown out or
he's the
whatever.
same
Same lawyer. So it'd be interesting to see, will this be the same fate? Is this going to be thrown out?
Oh,
Because
wow.
they were quick to release all the text messages. And from what it read, they were for sure engaging with each other on a consensual level. That doesn't mean things can't go left. Got to put that out there. But come on now.
I mean, but I don't know. What I heard was, Shannon was sharing video that wasn't supposed to have been taken and stuff like that, but allegedly. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just getting tired of America keep coming for our black men. But
Moving on to this last piece. We don't have time for everything. Jalen Rose and Jason Wilson. That's crazy, man. I got the same
I actually
name.
met that dude too.
Oh, you met Jason Wilson?
Yeah, I was at Runyon Canyon, and I just had to go introduce myself to him.
Did you tell him you had the same?
That was the introduction.
Okay. Dope. So
Yeah.
Jalen, so go on and break that down.
Jalen Rose and Jason Wilson appeared on the Tamron Hall show to advocate for boys and men. They started an initiative to normalizing boys talking and being emotional instead of being an emotional in an emotional prison due to societal standards. I'm trying to read too fast. Excuse me, y'all. They aim to bring a broader understanding of manhood and take away phrases like toxic masculinity. So what they were saying was, especially Tamron Hill was saying that we always tell women, keep your head up and, women can do it and, black women can do it. But there's never too much of advocation for men to be like, yo, you got it, and giving that encouragement. And that's what kind of like the conversation was saying is just, males, especially black males, don't get that encouragement like black women do or women. And it's always like the narrative like, oh, well, they don't need it. Or, why do we need to give them attention? We need to give all the attention to black women or women. And everybody needs it. Everybody, needs, you know that phrase, check on your strong friends,
Yeah.
because even the strongest, needs a hug or needs somebody to talk to.
Right.
So this is what they were talking about in I guess on the interview or the conversation.
Yeah.
And just like they were explaining, like toxic masculinity is not really a thing. It's just a phrase that came about, but you want a masculine individual. They're explaining and making an example of if a building was burning, right? You don't want no passive firefighter just outside eating donuts. You want them to be aggressive and getting to what they need to, and saving people. That's masculinity.
Well, one thing that I really took away from the interview was Jason Wilson had spoke about Frederick Douglass's quote where he says it's easier to raise strong children than to repair broken men. And he said, but I don't think he meant that we should leave men broken, So,
Right.
So
Right.
I think that we can acknowledge that healing needs to take place in general. And I think that, having that conversation is the first step because we got to repair our, not only as men in our culture, in our community, but also across the other side. Like the relationship between men and women is at an all-time low, I feel like that's all needs to be worked on. So I think shows like this and having the mindset to even get the conversation started, I really appreciate that. Like I like where
Yeah,
they're
that
coming
was
from
dope.
because it's all about healing. It's all about recognizing that, hey, look, we need to do better, And again, I always go back to this is by design. Like we one group of people that by design we're not supposed to see
Thrive.
value
Yeah,
in
exactly.
our families, to see value in loving each other, honoring each other. So part of that is going to come with the brothers healing and the sisters healing, and then coming together and just get back to those strong families, those strong sense of community.
And recognizing that people can be vulnerable. People, not just women, not just, I feel like there's such a strong case for young boys to be strong, for them to be prideful, for them to not acknowledge their emotional response to certain things. And I feel like that's something that we really need to start nurturing and understanding and having respect for all that came before that, especially when it comes to families and dysfunction and healing and just processing everything that we've been through and experiences.
That's a great point. Mimi said, black men are held up if they have the right village around them. And that's very true. It's a blessing to have for anybody to have a good support system around you. In the absence of that, everything's going to be more difficult. So,
Exactly.
it is support systems, community, family, healing, all of that. We
Let's
need
do
more.
it together. Let's dig in.
That's it. That's our show. I want to thank y'all for tuning in with us. We will see y'all next week.
Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. It's free 99, y'all.
Free 99. Shout out to Honey Nut and Cocoa too. Come get all your hair care products right here at Art Beauty Equilibrium.
Quit
Absolutely.
playing.
The shop, artbeautyequilibrium.com. You can
It's
order
good.
it.
It's good for you, man. It treats your hair
Yes.
right. It treats your
Y'all
hair
have
right.
a good one.
Next week, y'all.
We can